What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Kings Court with me, Vincent Miracle, here for Fansided.com, GoldenGateSports.com, HoundSports.com, and of course, SacKingsNation.com. As you can tell, I'm a bit rusty. It's been 2 weeks since our last episode. The last episode I did notice it came up a bit, a lot actually. A lot skipped and staticky and stuff like that, but look it, got a new microphone, guys. I hope you guys can tell that we're really working hard over here. We're getting Marley Silverbrand back. The intro is going to look great. He's working on a ton of stuff. I cannot wait till you guys see what we have in store for you this season. Tons of giveaways, a bunch of stuff. So if you're not a subscriber yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Become a subscriber. Become a fan. Share all of our videos. Follow me on Twitter at VMCenter and things like that. We're going to talk all things Kings news. And this episode today, guys, I gotta let you know, this episode today is the Sacramento Kings season preview. We're gonna go over all things, what I predict their record will be. I already wrote an article about it on SacKingsNation.com, which you guys can definitely go check out. And my expectations for certain players and what we should expect to see from everyone, during the course of this season. Now, for those who don't know and are new to this show, again, my name is Vincent Miracle. I've been hosting this show for a little over 6 months now. It started off, in the middle of last year, and we've just kind of been continuously getting better. Lately, though, I'm not going to lie, guys, stuff has been happening in my personal life and things like that kind of been, holding me back from writing. But I'm back. I've lost 50 pounds. If you guys can't tell, go look at some previous videos and go look at me now. Yeah, a little slimmed up in the face now. It's looking a little bit better. Hi, ladies. But yeah, it's gonna get better in this season. I'm so excited to show you guys what I have in store for all of you, meaning articles, polls, giveaways, this show. Marley, again, I cannot wait to have you back. We are looking for a writer for SacKingsNation.com, mainly to do game previews and things like that with me, and I'll definitely tell you guys how to do that at the end of this show, so please stay tuned for that. So let's go ahead and jump right into this season preview for the Sacramento Kings, starting off with the preseason. Last episode I kind of did a little bit of a preseason review, but let's kind of highlight some of the things that we've seen so far. And one of the things that you have to take notice is Nick Stauskas has come, meeting expectations. The dude can shoot that basketball like crazy. Lights out. You leave him open, that ball is going in the hole. And what's awesome about him that I'm really seeing is he is doing it in multiple different ways. He's not doing it just off catch and shoot situations. He's taking it off the dribble. He's creating, 4-point plays, although I've only seen one so far. But he's also dunking the ball. We've got to see that pass from DeMarcus Cousins to him, and he got to dunk the ball on his birthday. It's awesome to see. And he's going to struggle. He's definitely going to struggle. You can tell. Defensively, he's still very, very slow off his feet when he's going to guard some of the high-end number twos in the NBA, even the low-end number twos, the low-class number twos, that the shooting guards at that position that he plays, like an Aaron Aflalo. I don't see him as a top 10 shooting guard, but he is a shooting guard that I can see Nick Stauskas having fits with, mainly because he's crafty, and Nick Stauskas is not the greatest defender, and we're noticing that very, very well, and that's okay. That's you're gonna expect something like that from a rookie. Another thing that you have to take into notice about Nick Stauskas is that mindset that he has. I haven't actually got to see, him passing the ball, but the mindset that he has of he knows he can do it. He knows he can make a shot. He knows he has a good passing ability. He's underrated in that department. So I'm really ready to see when he's going to get that opportunity to play as possibly a point guard. I don't think it's ever actually going to happen, but I mean the fact that he'll have the ball in his hands a bit more, and I think we'll see that as fans, and Coach Malone will put that on the floor a little bit probably more in the middle of the season to see how he's developing. I say give it 15 to 20 games, and you're going to see Nick Stauskas having the ball in his hands a bit more, getting a bit more comfortable, and seeing his teammates really believing in him. Now, if you're talking about Nick Stauskas, you have to move on to the next guy who plays that number 2 spot, and they're battling out for the starting job, and that's Ben McLemore. And with Ben McLemore, I haven't seen much growth. And that could just be me. Let me know what you guys think, but I haven't actually seen much growth. Can he dribble the ball a little bit more? Yes, but is he hitting his shots? Not really. I mean, last game I believe he went, 3 for 5, 3 for 6, 3 for 8, something like that. I don't have a stat book right in front of me, but what I will tell you is he's still at times taking the shots that are not needed. He's still taking an unneeded three. He's still missing a layup at the rim. He's still doing things that you want to see him jump up going into his next year. And especially with Nick Stauskas chasing him for that starting job. Another thing that's very, very interesting about Ben McLemore is the Kings already picked up his player option going into the next season, which is good for him. At the same time, could that possibly be because they're going to look to trade him? I'm not hearing anything. I'm just saying that they are buying into Ben McLemore. I know for a fact that the Kings organization has really high expectations on Ben McLemore. Not really on himself, but mainly his future and his potential. But at the same time, they want to build for now. And there are many people that I've talked to that said that they can make an argument that Nick Stauskas is going to be better now than Ben McLemore would be, only because of the skill set that Nick Stauskas has to bring now, meaning that better ball handling ability, the fact that he can create a shot off the dribble and on his own without just being a catch and shoot type of player. He can finish at the rim. He can pass. He's an underrated passer. Things like that. Well, Ben McLemore, he's crazy athletic. His defense is not that much better than Nick Stauskas is, and that's what I thought was going to define this position. And right now, you're not seeing great defense from either or. Ben McLemore's not doing that great defensively, and neither is Nick Stauskas. So when you look at them, it's still literally a coin flip on who you're going to see opening night being that starting 2 spot. So with that being said, and all this stuff taken into account, I want to know what you, the fans, think. Do you guys think Ben McLemore should keep his starting position, or do you think Nick Stauskas should be the Kings starting shooting guard? I want to know what you all think. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tweet me at VMCenter with your answer. Either hashtag Ben McLemore, hashtag Nick Stauskas. Let me know what you all think. Now that we're talking about the Sacramento Kings, we got to get into this very, 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 very much. And this is going to be the Rudy Gay dilemma. And it's going to come up countless times this season, whether all of you guys want to believe it or not. This is a contract year for Rudy Gay. He opted into his contract, meaning at the end of the season, he is going to be an unrestricted free agent. He can sign with whoever he pleases. Now, there have been rumors and there have been talks between Rudy Gay and the Kings organization, and they have been going back and forth in contract negotiations, but nothing has been close. Nothing has really been, getting to where they're already writing up a deal. They're talking, and I think they're going to rehash it probably in mid-December. Mid-December, early January is where you'll find out whether or not Rudy Gay's going to stay, because I said this earlier this offseason, and for those who have never watched the show before, or for those who are just joining us for the first time ever, or for those who just forgot, I made this prediction, and I've talked to sports writers around, and I even wrote an article about it, that there's a good possible chance that if the Kings are on pace for another 28 to 30 win season, Rudy Gay gets traded at the February trade deadline. And I wouldn't be surprised. Why lose a talent like Rudy Gay, who just is coming off of a gold medal Olympics tournament where he showed off that he is still a top-tier small forward in this league where that position is very, very scarce? Why not put him on the trading block and see what you get for him? Now, what you get, I don't know. You have to see him play throughout the season. But the fact that he can handle the ball very well, he can take you in the low post. You don't leave him open because he has a nice jump shot. You could see him being moved, especially if the Kings don't start winning and start going in the right direction. Another thing that's going to counteract or possibly be a big reason why Rudy Gay stays or goes is the play of DeMarcus Cousins. And not necessarily the play on the court, but the play in his emotions. How he can control himself. I know he's limiting himself to 5 technicals. He's got 2, but I don't really count that because it's not the regular season. But if he already counts it, then he already has 2. He can only get 3 more technicals. I know he wants to be a leader of this team, but can he be a leader with Rudy Gay? Rudy Gay is going to be the co-anchor to this team. It's going to be Batman and Robin. If you have to think of it in that scenario, DeMarcus Cousins is going to be Batman. Rudy Gay will be his Robin, but only if DeMarcus Cousins lets him. Cousins has to know that this team is better with Rudy Gay on it. Why? Because Rudy Gay fills a position that hasn't had that much talent at that position since arguably Peja Stojakovic or Ron Artest. And DeMarcus Cousins is going to have a breakout year this year. And that's my expectation on him. That should be his expectation on himself. He should be looking at being an all-star caliber player this year, meaning I am expecting 25 and at least 13, 25 and 15, like Shaquille O'Neal says. I expect those numbers from Cousins. I don't care that Carl Landry's coming back healthier. Is it nice? And I'll get into him later. Yes, it's nice. It's awesome to see Carl Landry coming back. But you have to be a top 5 rebounder, DeMarcus Cousins, in the NBA. You are carrying this team. You are going to have probably I'd say a top 3 in, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, goodness. It's right off the tip of my tongue now. Goodness. Usage rate. DeMarcus, you're going to be a top 3 player in usage rate. So when you're looking at Cousins fans and you're watching him, you have to take in the fact that he needs to get Rudy Gay also involved. But we are expecting him to at least get 25 points, 13 to 15 rebounds, and at least 3 assists. Can I be mad at that? No. And I want to see him get a block and a half. That is my expectation. So a full stat line for Cousins. This is mine. I want to know you guys if this is too high of an expectation on him, and I want to know what you guys' expectations are on him if it's different from mine. But I'm expecting 23 to 25 points, 13 to 15 rebounds, at least a block and a half, at least a steal and a half, and only 3 turnovers a game. And that should not be, that bad of a stat line. That should be, not that hard for him to meet. And I'm not going to get into completely, agreeing with Shaquille O'Neal, but what he says. But what he's saying is true. He's going to get to the free throw line because of the way he plays. He's going to back people down. He's going to give that bully ball. All he has to do is at least go to the free throw line twice, hit all 4 free throws. Score at least 4 points in every quarter. So if he gets to the free throw line, it gets 4 points like that and scores another 4 points. That's 8 points each quarter. 8 times 4. Is what? 20, oh goodness, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 30. Okay, so 6 points a quarter. All right, whatever. My math is off. I'm jacking up numbers right now. But anyways, you know what I'm saying. It's not that hard to put up the numbers. At least not for Cousins. They're going to be using him so much. And I really would love to. I know so many people are going to make fun of me for the whole counting thing. But yeah. Cousins, he has the talent. He's a top 5 center in this NBA. And could arguably be a top 3. I'm not going to put him ahead of Dwight Howard, though. Mainly because Dwight Howard, although his free throw percentage is terrible, he blocks shots. He's took a team to the NBA Finals. He's a player that makes a complete difference for a team. And I'm not saying that DeMarcus Cousins doesn't, but Dwight Howard can get you, 20 points, 10 rebounds, and like 3 blocks. DeMarcus Cousins gets you 20 points, 10 rebounds, a steal, and 3 technicals. Look even in preseason. Last preseason game against the San Antonio Spurs, he had 10 turnovers. 10! Because of his usage rate. They're going to use him so much, and the fact that, he's being dumb and he's dribbling the ball as if he's a point guard. No offense to Marcus Cousins, if you ever watch this show and I just called you dumb. Don't take offensively, but IQ would tell you to pass the ball to a point guard. I know you can handle the basketball. I'm just saying, speaking from you man to man, if you are watching the show, Cousins, which you're probably not, but if you are, give the ball to the point guard. Or at least to a guard or small forward that can handle the ball a little bit better than you. And then set up in the post and do what you got to do because you're Boogie Cousins. But I don't know what you guys think. Are my expectations too high to expect 23 to 25 points, 13 to 15 rebounds, a block and a half, a steal and a half, and only 3 turnovers with maybe 2 or 3 assists? Is that too much to ask for DeMarcus Cousins? You guys let me know. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And now we're moving on to the 4 spot. Number 4. And that is a plethora, a depth, a train wreck, too many to count. The things I've heard coming out of the power forward position for the Sacramento Kings is just crazy. You have Carl Landry, Jason Thompson, Derek Williams, Reggie Evans, and each of these guys, Omri Caspi, Ryan Hollins, Eric Moreland, you have so many of these players that are on this team that aren't even going to see the floor. And the one player that is going to be really biting for minutes, I think, is going to be Derek Williams. And I think because Omri Caspi took his minutes away. Derek Williams has not impressed anyone during Summer League. He didn't impress anyone during this preseason. And Omri Caspi, because of the way he runs the floor, the way he can stretch the floor with his shooting, I think takes out most minutes. Now, I think Derek Williams will still get time. But I think because of the pace that the Kings are talking about how they want to play, Omri Caspi is going to see a lot of minutes. Now, I want to get on to Jason Thompson, though, because this is where it comes into valid play, is Jason Thompson is probably most likely going to be the starting power forward again. And I know how much Kings fans hate it, because I know how much of you guys have told me that you are not a fan of Jason Thompson's. Whether that be because you think he cries too much, whether you think it's because you don't think he's that good. I mean, I've heard people say he's garbage, he's trash. Other people say he's good, but not good for our team. My thing for Jason Thompson is I think he's ready for change, and I think the Kings organization has been ready for change for the past 5 years. And so does that mean I don't like Jason Thompson? No, I've actually got to meet him twice. He's been very nice to me both times. And when I talk to James Ham or Jonathan Santiago from Cowbell Kingdom, they have nothing but high praise for talking about Jason Thompson as a person, as a player of who he is. What I'm seeing from him right now, I am liking. Does he still complain a little too much? Yes. But his mid-range jump shot is coming together. I think you will see him knock down 3 3-pointers this season. Not any more, not any less. I think 3 will be the number. But yeah, I think he's starting to figure it out. He's not just jamming in when he gets the ball at the top of the key. He's actually looking to shoot it because he should shoot that basketball. He'll never be a Patrick Patterson shooter, but I think that he's finally developing that. Jason Thompson does have a decent low post game when he gets everything going together. I think he's a nice rebounder. He can both play the 4 and the 5, which makes him a very, very nice player on this team when he's not, playing out of the ordinary. When he stays in his role, he's a good role player. I just think at times he thinks he's better than what he really is, and that's mainly my problem with Jason Thompson. As a player, as a person, like I said, I've met him twice. He's been very nice to me both times. But Jason Thompson, Carl Landry's the other. Carl Landry, everyone knows he is a six-man. And maybe he's not the six-man for this team, but what he brings is a six-man mentality. He can come off that bench or be a starter or anything like that, and he can put up numbers. I know he's coming off the injury, but the way that he controls a low post, the way he hits a mid-range jump shot, I think Jason Thompson can learn something from Carl Landry, more from him than what they've already played together before, but he can learn from him. And at the same time, I can see Landry just completely dominating. Rebounding-wise, though, I think Jason Thompson beats him out. I think Jason Thompson's a better rebounder than Carl Landry. Statistically, though, they're like 50-50. They're like right neck and neck with each other. I like Carl Landry over Jason Thompson, but at the same time, I like Jason Thompson starting over Carl Landry. So whoever gets the most minutes. Remember, guys, my mindset of when seeing games is it's not who starts the game. It's about who finishes it. Although I've been not going by what I've said when talking about the 2 spot, only because it's such an interesting battle at that position. So I think I basically covered what I needed to cover between the positions. The biggest thing for me is going to see how well DeMarcus Cousins leads. You want to see Nick Stauskas, Ben McLemore. I told you guys already that I have a strong feeling that Darren Collison's going to be that starting point guard. I think the defense is what gets it, is because Malone is already a defensive-minded guy. Darren Collison brings that gritty defensiveness, but Ramon Session is putting up numbers nicely. He's getting to the free throw line very nice. I think that he is going to see a good amount of minutes. I could see him being also playing that 2 spot where you're going to see a combination of Carlson, Ramon Sessions, McLemore, Rudy Gay, and DeMarcus Cousins, or even where you see Rudy Gay playing the 3, Omri Caspi at the 4, vice versa, and DeMarcus Cousins at the 5. I mean, you're going to see so many different lineup changes this year that I'm excited to see what the Kings just bring. I'm excited to go to a Kings game and see what comes on the floor. Of course, I want to see wins, but we're in a season of change as Kings fans. We're in a season where we already know we're getting the new arena. We now just want to see what product is going to develop when we get to go there, right? That's what we're seeing. What are we building? We already know we're building an arena, but what are we building on the court? And that is what is so interesting, and that's what I'm excited to see, because I want to see a DeMarcus Cousins, Rudy Gay tandem for multiple years more. I want to see where Nick Stauskas and Ben McLemore go, if they can play on the floor together, or what they're gonna do with these players to package something. I want to see what they're looking for from Darren Collison and Ramon Session, and also what are they going to expect from Ray McCallum when his number is called, because I think this is going to be another year where Ray McCallum's developing, but the potential that's in Ray McCallum, I don't think the Kings want to let that go. So many things are in question, but now that I've ran through basically the main keys of each of these players, I will give you my projected record. And my projected record for the Sacramento Kings 2014-2015 season is 38 wins. I believe the Sacramento Kings will be having 38 wins on the season. I think it was 38 and 54. That's 52, or 38 and 48 or something. 38 and 42. Whatever. I expect 38 wins. I can't do the math off the top of my head. Go read the article. But yeah, that's what I expect. And I think that's more than what they had. And I think having 38 wins keeps Rudy Gay. I think 38 wins keeps them in a 10-9 seed battle. I don't think they're making the playoffs. I don't think they have the talent to do it. But I do think they have talent. And I do think DeMarcus Cousins steps it up this year. I do think Rudy Gay steps it up this year. And it's going to come down to these role players, and that's why I think they're so key, whether that be a Jason Thompson, Nick Stauskas, Darren Collison, Ramon Sessions, Ray McCallum, anybody from the top of the bench to the bottom. It's going to be interesting to see where it all happens, what all goes through these players' minds, and the mindset that they're going to. Is there going to be camaraderie through the entire thing? Can Coach Malone keep them fighting each and every game, giving 110%? I believe that they can. That's why I'm saying they're going to get 38 wins. I don't believe they're a playoff team yet, but they're definitely moving in the right direction. I've liked most of the moves that they've done this offseason, and I can't wait for the season to come, guys. So leave your guys' comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys agree with, disagree with, dislike, and everything like that. But now we're going to move on to fan questions. If you have a question that you want to get on the show, you can email your questions to kingscourtpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet in your questions at SKNArticles. Oh, sorry. Whoa, completely messed that up. You can email your questions to @SKNArticles@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter and the show on Twitter @SKNArticles. Now, right now we're going to take your questions, and as I pick up my phone here to get the questions out, the first question of the day comes from Miss Trang, and she asks, now that the completion of the new arena is around the corner, can the fans expect refocus to rebuilding or to building a solid new and young team this season? And like I just said, that's exactly what this is. We know we're getting the arena. This is the season where we want to see what Vivek and Pete D'Alessandro and Coach Malone are really trying to form. This is that year. This is the refocus. This is where wins matter. Last year, they were right. Wins didn't matter. Wins were out the door. We kept our team. We got to see the Sacramento Kings play Sacramento another season. But now we know we're staying. We're getting that new arena. It's time for us to see what product we're going to have on the floor. It's definitely that year for, refocusing on the team. We want to go back to the glory days. We don't need to have flashbacks of it, and I know that's what they're trying to do with these jersey things, where they have the logo change. It's kind of like old school but new school feel. That's kind kind of exactly what they want to do. They want to bring that old school flavor of wins with this new school type of people. And to do so, we need to see that product, and we need to focus on this product, whether that be us giving our input of what we like and don't like, or whether it just be us sitting back and just hoping and going along for the ride. Me, I'm going to be giving my input because I love the Kings. I love talking to the fans. I love, knowledge and figuring out certain things. And I will definitely be giving my input on the team through this show. So if you're not a subscriber yet, become a subscriber. And definitely, this is definitely, Miss Trang, a season where we are refocusing on the team as Kings fans. And as I move on to question number 2 from Bill Cook, it says, I want to know who will perform up to their contract, JT or Landry. Similar contract and sometimes similar numbers, but both have been underwhelming. Who steps up? Great question. And that's why I kind of brought them up a little bit earlier, is because you're right. Their numbers do kind of match up, Bill. They really, are almost the same player, but in different types of ways. Landry's more offensive, gifted, and Jason Thompson is more, can do a little bit of everything, but can't do a little bit of everything at the same time. I personally like Landry over Thompson, mainly because Landry has proven he can do it for multiple teams. Like, think back just 2 years ago when he was with Golden State. In that playoff run, he was a key contributor off that bench. So I'm very excited to see what Landry does. Who lives up to the contract? It's going to have to be, I think it has to be Landry, because they just gave him that contract. Last year was completely injury filled. Now it's time for him to come back and prove he is worth this contract. So I put more pressure on Landry. Who will do it? I don't know. Jason Thompson's coming into this season probably the healthiest and most physically fit that he's ever been in his career, and that's what I'm hearing from most people inside the Kings organization and from people that I'm talking to who go inside and watch him practice. So it's just up in the air. But I really like Carl Landry. I would really like to see Carl Landry live up to his contract, mainly because he had just gotten it a year before, got injured, and now he's back. So let's see what he can do. And the final question of the day comes from Crazy Good, and his question is, Collison, Rudy, Nick, DeMarcus Cousins, and Hollins. Do you think the coach would ever try this combination? I think Hollins would help Cousins on defensively more than JT would. Thank you for your question, Crazy Good. Thank you, Bill and Miss Chang, for your questions as well. But I do see that lineup happening. Maybe even Nick being out, Sessions being in instead of Collison, and McLemore being in for Stauskas, anything like that. I could see where they're going to test this. The last time DeMarcus Cousins had a defensive shot-blocking center next to him in the low post was Samuel Dalembert. But at the same time, if you look back on that, that was not a great combination down low. It didn't fit for him. So will they try it? I definitely believe they will. Hollins, I liked watching him in China. I think he's going to bring that shot-blocking ability. But it's all just what are we going to see? I definitely think they're going to try a handful of different combinations. Whatever they try, they're going to look and see. They're going to be like, okay, did this work? Okay, did this work? Okay, did this work? Let's try to throw him in here. Reggie Evans. I can see Reggie Evans and Hollins being on the court together. You know what I mean? You're going to see Reggie Evans, Hollins, Williams, McLemore, and McCallum. You might see that lineup at times. You know what I mean? I think they're going to try so many different things just to find what works, because I don't think they even know yet. So, again, thank you for your question. All right, guys, leave all your comments in the comment section below. What you guys liked, disagreed with? What are you guys excited for this upcoming season? What are your expectations for certain players? If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit that subscribe button. I want you guys to join this show. I'm so excited to show you guys what we have coming for this season. Again, stuff we're giving away. We are still going to do that around the Horn episode, but because of what's happened and because of like I said, personal stuff kept me from doing the show as much as I actually wanted to. I will be back, and I'm hoping more fans come. More fans like you guys are going to want to join the show when we go do these shows live. Marley, again, welcome back. We are looking for a writer, so if you guys want to write for the show, please email me a 500-word article to sknarticles@gmail.com with the title being writer here, something like that. So send those in to me. Anything you want Kings related. I want to see how you guys write. And, it's going to be for a game preview. So, you know what? Try and add in a game preview there. Just saying. Throw that out there. Again, guys, my name is Vincent Miracle. You guys can follow me on Twitter at VMCenter. Follow this show on Twitter as well to get your questions in and just more Kings news and articles that are coming out on SacKingsNation.com, at SKNarticles at Gmail, or at SKNarticles on Twitter, at SKNarticles at Gmail.com for all of you guys to email your questions and, of course, email in that 500-word article. All right, guys, and thanks to everyone, SacKingsNation.com, HoundSports.com, Fansided.com, GoldenGateSports.com, for really being supporters of the show. Give a shout out to our sponsor. For quality clothes at a quality price, go to the Quality Shop located in downtown Roseville, right there off of Vernon Street. Mention my name, they might even give you a discount. So again, guys, until next time, the season will be here. We'll be doing this show right after Game 1. So look out for that. On October 29th, after we watch Kings versus Warriors, there will be a Kings Core episode going up live on YouTube. Look for it. And, yeah. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.